Hey Geminis, I hope that you're all having a great March, I'm filming this during the last bits of February, so I'm hoping that you're enjoying the last bits of your February. We're going to take a look at the messages that Spirit has for you about your love life for the month of March. I have 3 piles for Geminis to pick from. Cross watchers may be able to get something out of this too, but I primarily made this for Gemini folks. So tell you what, this with the wiggly egg is pile 1, amethyst pile 2, and labradorite pile 3. What I want you to do is meditate for just a moment on the stone that resonates most with you and on the pile that resonates most with you. They might be 2 separate things, so you might be getting multiple messages, Gemini, about your month of March. It depends entirely on what your spirit guides want for you. It could be just one pile, okay? So let's go ahead and get into pile 1 and pile 2 and 3. I'll see you in just a bit. Okay, well, let's get wiggly little egg. I forgot what this stone was, but it's specifically connected to inviting prosperity into your home. You're supposed to leave this stone, and for goodness sakes, I hope that I remember it soon, but you're supposed to leave this in a place where it's going to attract something about feng shui. You're supposed to leave this in an area that will attract prosperity in your home. So let's take a look at what you have going on with your Claves Astrologica. Okay, so there may be something, Gemini's first pile, that you're dealing with when it comes to taking care of other people. This might be a struggle for you in the month of March. You might have Aries and Virgo in your birth chart, but if you don't have either of these signs in your birth chart, these could be indicating that you need to take a look at your earth and fire energy in your birth chart and kind of work with them and see what's going on with them in the month of March, at least when it comes to working with other people, working for other people, doing good, doing the best good for the world in general. This could be about learning to become less stagnant. When I think of earth, I think of something that's very firm, terra firma, right? But on the other hand, that can also point to being, it can point to being stagnant, to being brittle even. And there may be a transformative month. This may be a transformative month for those folks. If they're kind of accustomed to a routine, if they're kind of if they like doing things, if they're accustomed to life going a particular way, that might get shaken up when it comes to working for other people this month. We're going to get more information on this, but first, let me try to secure that wiggly little egg, and it's going to do whatever it wants. We're going to deal with it eventually. I want to get more information on this in just a second, but I want to take a look also at your uncertain oracle for this month. And yeah, there may be some stagnancy that's burning away this month, and that's going to be difficult. You might have some difficulties this month in March when it comes to love, when it comes to trying to get closer to a love relationship that is meant to last. So with the small magic and with embodied, you are the magician here. You have all the tools within yourself that you need to be successful in general, not just when it comes to your love life. But right now I see some issues in the month of March when it comes to feeling your magic power. And your magic powers can manifest in a couple of different ways, and you may not think of them as magical necessarily. But I want you to think of the everyday, the quote-unquote mundane, as being part of our magical everyday existence. And it may be looking at the small things in life. It may be being grateful, counting your blessings literally this month in March. That may be what gets you through. But this is something to do with other people, external circumstances creating problems for you, at least when it comes to your personal life and possibly your love life. Tell you what, I want to do a Celtic cross, and we're probably going to get a lot more information on what's going on here. So we're going to take from the bottom. And okay, so your first card, pile 1, is the 8 of Swords in reverse. This could be about you being your own worst enemy. You've got your hands around your throat. You've got your own blindfold. You have chained yourself up, and you alone can unchain yourself, take off your blindfolds. Or this could mean that everything, your blindfolds, your chains are falling off. You're taking them off so that you can move forward. That may be what we have going on with this Aries energy right here, is that you've been accustomed to certain things with this Virgo energy, this earth kind of energy. And with that Aries energy, at least when it comes to working with other people, you're kind of waking up to something, which let's take a look at what's crossing you. Okay. What you have crossing you is a betrayal. So you've been forced to see the truth in a situation because someone betrayed you, and this was catastrophic. It's like this person beat you into the ground, so to speak, beat your situation into the ground. They went hard to keep you from being effective. You may have seen an opportunity, or for you folks, you may have passed up an opportunity. You may not have done this deliberately. You may have just missed seeing a cup that the universe was giving you. And now that you're going through this betrayal moment with this person, possibly, that we're seeing here in the Aries Virgo 6th house spread up here, you might be really struggling with this, with kind of the fallout of missing that cup. It's not over. There is still absolutely a way to recover this. You will have to work hard now to continue to progress. I do see that in your future. But this is a battle worth fighting. Absolutely it is. So maybe in your past, you kind of struggled to see what the universe wanted to give you in a situation. The universe may have been giving you an out of this situation before it turned into betrayal. It's possible that these folks missed that opportunity entirely. And now, because of this betrayal, they are being forced to see the reality of their situation. And it's a tremendous burden on them, going to be a tremendous burden going forward. But you still need to carry this. This is how you grow, is what the universe says. Consciously, you're being paused here. So you may be struggling to take off the blindfolds because of this betrayal. This might be something that you want to see, but for whatever reason, the universe isn't allowing you to see this. It could be that your situation is keeping you from seeing the full truth of your situation. This betrayal may be so painful that you're going to need to step out of the emotional moment in order for you to see all of it, to get an overall picture of it. You are moving towards ultimate happiness here, towards satisfaction. With all this difficult energy here, you are still moving towards something amazing. There is a reward for hard, honest labor. If you are in good faith, working through this situation with Spirit, that is going to be rewarded here. But Spirit wants you to get out of this situation, even when it's hard work. Spirit wants you out of this situation so that you can have your Knight of Cups, your relaxation phase, your complete satisfaction phase. That's your advice card. You've got the Four of Wands here. So something about celebrating with other people. This may be attached to service, to working with other people in order to create a celebration relatively soon. And I see that in relationship to your Ten of Wands. It may be hard work right now to celebrate this end. The Ten of Swords is a betrayal, but it is also the end of this situation that has been causing you so much pain. Something's being burned away here. Something that you may have been struggling to let go of. And the universe kind of forced it away from you because it sees better things for you. Looking forward to the future, this is a burden worth carrying. You are headed into wonderful things. You're heading towards a celebration with this Four of Wands, with this Ten of Wands. This is heading into a beautiful future here. Your external situation is that a lot of folks who resonated with this pile may be struggling to transition. They may be resisting the transition. Your advice in this situation is to see the good that is eventually going to come out of this, even when you don't understand why things have been so awful and so hard for you lately. Do not resist this transition. Please go to therapy if that is what vibes with you. Please journal if that's what vibes with you. Speaking to a trusted family member or friend is also going to be really helpful during this period. But avoiding all of this stuff, avoiding your transition, avoiding the end of an era, and not wanting to head into the new one. That's what I see going on with this card. This is your hopes and fears. You're afraid of doing something new entirely. You're afraid of a new project, a new thing to do. I'm seeing a lot of wand energy, especially in the rod right here. So this may be about, well, with this Virgo energy up here with the astrological cards, that's going to be about earth energy, about doing things the way that you've always done. With Virgo, I associate that with being orderly, the complete opposite of chaos. And sometimes with wands, that's kind of chaotic. I don't see pentacles. Any pentacles? Do we have any pentacles? No, we don't have pentacles here at all in your spread. So this might feel, if you really vibe with the Virgo energy, it might feel really displacing, disorienting to go through all of this that you have coming up at the month of March. But it is 100% worth it. You have the devil in reverse here. You have amazing things to celebrate. This is a burden that has a massive payoff. You don't just pull off the chains off of you, the blindfolds off of you. You pull off massive chains across your life, not just over this situation, by pulling through, by celebrating the end of this relationship. An end has been established here. Be careful not to resist it. Carry your burden for a moment into this release of an addiction to a situation, an addiction to a kind of relationship. Feeling like you need to do stuff for other people. This is what it comes back down to with your sixth house in service. You might feel first pile, that you have to do things for other people, and this is what's being burned away here. You might be asked in the month of March to allow this sensation to burn away, this sensation that you need to put people first. We're told to put the mask on our faces in planes all the time first before we help other people, and that's absolutely what's going on here with your spread. This month, again, with your uncertain oracle, it might feel very, very difficult to feel like you have the power to move through your difficult situation, but you absolutely do. It's going to feel difficult, and the reward is going to be, what's the word? It's going to be not ratio. It's going to be in perspective with how much you've worked for this. A release of the devil. So I want to continue to work with more tarot. I'm going to be working with the Light Seers Tarot. We're going to work with 12 cards here. You've got the Four of Wands in reverse. It's difficult to celebrate a catastrophic end, and I wasn't surprised to see the Tower here, to be honest. This is leading you to an incredibly happy moment, and I understand for a lot of folks, you may say, I don't know how the heck I am supposed to celebrate this. For some folks, you might have a marriage, a wedding on the way for you, for someone close in your circle. And that might be part of your burden here. This might be part of why it's so difficult to get through this situation. And yet, this is your release into happiness. The Tower is about tearing something down that was on shaky ground that needed to come down. And especially in this case, you might not have seen this coming. It came out of nowhere, and yet there is wonderful happiness on the other end for you. You are letting go of the devil. The devil has no more control over you. With this Sun, if you go through this Tower in good faith with Spirit, okay, please stay in touch with Spirit and in touch with therapy. It might be difficult to celebrate a collaboration that you have coming up. This could be a business partnership. This could be a romantic partnership. Whoever you have coming up in the month of March, whoever you're dealing with as far as a kind of work situation, you're going to be working together with this person. That might be difficult. This might come back to your Virgo in the 6th house of service. You might really struggle to celebrate this. Tune back into Spirit. See what you can do to be grateful for the blessings that you do have in this moment. Your burden is temporary with the 10 of Wands. You are headed to release from the devil, release from the situation, from addictions. You are headed towards happiness here. You're headed towards the 10 of Pentacles. This 3 of Pentacles is going to lead you to a situation of financial stability, family stability for the long term, generational wealth. It's going to lead you to becoming the master of your emotions. It's going to lead you to becoming intuitive, deeply intuitive. You're going to be able to listen to your intuition much more clearly than you ever thought you would be able to, than you ever thought you could. You might struggle to celebrate this particular situation, this Tower moment, but this is what is needed for you to up-level yourself as a person, to become a better person. You have the Queen of Pentacles here. So you didn't have Pentacles energy in your Celtic cross, talking about this catastrophic situation that is hurting you right now, this burdensome situation. This feels like energies that you're moving into in the future if you vibe high and work with Spirit in the month of March on your love life. It looks like you're going to be able to nourish yourself, nourish your sense of nostalgia, and explore what makes your inner child happy here. You're going to be able to nourish your inner child. You're going to have that foundation because the King of Cups is going to work with the Queen of Pentacles to give you that foundation, to give you that playtime as an inner child, as an adult who's nourishing their inner child here. This is going to take a while to explore. Some Geminis may have hesitated to explore their inner child. This is your opportunity to do this, and I see this bringing tremendous happiness to you. I suspect that the people who pick out this pile are going to say after this is over, after their Tower moment, their Ten of Pentacles moment is over, this hurt, but this was a mixed blessing, and I would not have traded any of this for, I love the results that I have. I would not have traded this for the world. Nourishing your inner child, taking your time with it. You're going to be able to spend all the time on it. The Queen of Pentacles says to walk away from something that you don't understand. Walk away from something mysterious that's been concealed from you. Not all secrets are worth knowing. And this may connect back to this person who has betrayed you with this Tower moment, this Ten of Pentacles, this Devil energy. This sounds like a lot of the Geminis who picked this pile are going through a crazy breakup, a painful, crazy painful breakup. If not right now, they might be in the month of March, and it might be difficult for this pile to understand why this is happening to them. Spirit wants you to hang in there. That some things are not worth knowing, that sometimes a bad situation is not worth exploring. Sometimes it's better to walk away from a situation and heal your heart than it is to explore what all this exactly this person did to hurt you. Let's take from Sufi Wisdom. This is an honest, loving deck, and we are talking about celebrating with the Four of Wands. You are being asked to become drunk with love for yourself first and foremost. You are being asked to think of yourself, call yourself, treat yourself as beloved. Call yourself beloved. To celebrate this end, as painful, as agonizing as this has been, this is an end that has needed to take place for a while. With the Four of Wands popping up twice in this deck, in two tarot spreads, you are being asked to celebrate, find ways to celebrate even when it's awful, when it's difficult. It might be a good day to schedule a pamper day, like a spa day or something like that for yourself. Find ways to make a day special for you this month. With the ending of trauma, I would expect to see that with the Ten of Swords here. There's a lot of trauma. This person has put you through a lot of damage that you didn't deserve. On your way out of this relationship, while you're ending your traumatic situation, while you are healing your inner child and yourself, trust your intuition. That's what that King of Cups, I was about to say King of Wands. You're also going to need to channel your inner King of Wands here. But your King of Cups is also about this. It's about healing yourself, not allowing a tidal wave of emotions to roll over you. That's actually what the person betraying you wants. They want you in over your head with sadness, with depression. Trust your gut feeling through this traumatic situation. There is a lot to celebrate. You have a lot of wonderful things headed your way. You have the Sun, the release of the Devil. You have the release of your blindfolds and your chains. This is difficult for you folks. You are going to do well, though. High vibing Geminis, I hope that you have a great March. Those are the messages from Spirit to you. Please take care of yourselves. So, pile 2, let's take a look at what messages Spirit has for you for March and your love life. You have the amethyst, a chunky amethyst. So this is about getting clarity into your situation, seeing clearly into your situation. So first we're going to take a look at the Claves Astrologica. So here you've got Mercury. What a surprise. Gemini gets Mercury. About communication, you're going to be transforming in the month of March when it comes to how you communicate with friends, with family members, with business partners, with co-workers, people like that. So interesting. This is going to be connected to your love life in the sense that you might be meeting somebody and it kind of changes the way you talk. It could be something that you say this month that kind of transforms your situation as far as how people look at you, how people treat you. So this is the Uncertain Oracle, and we're going to take a look at some themes that you have. Listen, hope, and curiosity. So something about being curious about something to do with, oh no, I hope that I've got this the right side up. Oh no, did I pull this? Oh no. Okay, we're gonna say that it was like that. Oh my goodness, okay. So this is, I'm sorry, I got distracted. This is going to be about putting your hope towards a situation that you've been kind of wanting for a while. To continue to keep hoping and listening for this new opportunity heading your way. You do need to be reaching out to society to kind of be out there, still be yourself, but you might need to get out of your box just a little bit, and especially with that transformation card, I can see that you are going to need to be doing things a little bit differently this month. So I want to take a look at a Celtic cross for you folks. I'm going to take cards from the bottom. I normally take them from the top. You have the Five of Cups here as your central theme. So I do see the people who picked this deck as having some real regrets about what was going on with their situation. Something may have ended with that transformation card. Something may have ended and they're kind of regretful of what you've left behind. It may be that you you don't feel like you completely explored a relationship. You felt like there were a lot of good things about the previous relationship that you're just now taking for, just now realizing how much you appreciate. Okay, you've got something helping you here. This is the Six of Pentacles, so giving back, having a relationship with people where they give something to you and you give back to them. So you may have some regrets about how you contributed to this relationship. You may have some regrets about who you picked to contribute to your relationship. The person that you were connected to may have done some damage as far as how they made life more difficult for you, is what I'm getting. It was a balancing act in the past. It was a constant, you might have been kind of walking on eggshells with this person, just trying to figure out what wouldn't piss them off. And I see with that giving that maybe you gave a little bit too much. Maybe you gave what wasn't yours to give. That was supposed to have been yours. Maybe you were giving this person what was supposed to have been yours. So you're moving into exploring your shadow self, quite possibly digging deep into the mysterious aspect of yourself. You may be asking, why exactly do I regret a relationship that wasn't good for me, that was an unequal give and take, was inequitable? Why do I regret that, and how can I avoid that in the future? I do see that going on with the Moon card here. You are exploring new ways of communicating, thinking up top here with these regrets. You are trying to learn from this lesson, I see. And you're trying to move forward into something new where you can avoid this. Again, I see you asking, why did this happen? And how can I keep this from happening again? Here with the Moon card. That's awesome. And you have the Five of Wands here in reverse. This could be about a conflict boiling over, and quite possibly with the Six of Pentacles here crossing you. Something may have boiled over within you. You may have had a lot of conflict within yourself about this situation. It's just kicked up a lot of chaos within you, and it's kind of boiled over into how you relate to this person specifically, and possibly just to people in general with the Society card. My nose is itching, so Spirit definitely wants to indicate something to you folks here. You also have the Page of Wands here in reverse. Your advice here is to kind of hang back for just a little bit with what you do, to think carefully, to meditate and think about what's best for you first before you act on anything. And this is about figuring out, again with that Moon shadow card, why do I want to lash out? Why do I want to behave like this? This is about examining why there may be some immaturity when it comes to the things that you do with this Moon card. Why have you gravitated towards these kinds of situations, and what can you do to make better friends, make better connections in the workplace, in your friend environment? This is causing you a lot of headaches, and I can see with that Five of Cups, with this Nine of Swords, that's a lot of regret, a lot of anxiety. What did I do wrong? Why is this happening? Possibly. There's a lot going on here. Spirit is saying get rest, get in touch with a therapist, a trusted friend, a trusted family member, or something like this with this situation. And I think it's interesting that the Strength Fears card lands on the Hopes and Fears spot for the Celtic cross. You are going to need to nourish your fears. And again, with that Moon card, that's going to be about getting into why it might be that you're afraid of being alone, why you need to be around people at all costs, literally at the cost of your well-being, why you need to be around people. You're afraid to confront your deepest fears here with the Strength card and with the Moon card. And at the same time, I can also see about how you're gravitating towards that too, because Spirit is pushing you towards that. You have the Empress here in reverse. This is going to be about nourishing yourself, creating for yourself a future that you're proud of, that you're comfortable in. It might take a while with this Page of Wands, and it might suck even to get through this situation, but this is how the Empress becomes upright and becomes the ruler of her kingdom. She is the Queen's all in balance. And this might indicate here that you're kind of exploring the feminine aspects of yourself. There is no gender in tarot. This could be indicating a dude just as easily as a gal, right? But this could be about you exploring, and I should say about non-binary folks as well. My apologies. But this could be about you exploring the feminine aspects of yourself that you've been struggling to deal with. It may be that you might feel taken advantage of here easily, and you want to avoid that, but at the same time, you also want to continue to attract people in your life because it sucks to be alone here. I want to continue to look at what's going on with your situation with the Light Seers Tarot. That was Tarot Mucha. You may not feel like you have the ability to get away from this devil here, but with the Ten of Swords, you have to. It's kind of self-sabotage for you not to get away from your situation, to not get away from this devil. The Magician in reverse indicates to me that you don't feel like you have all the tools within yourself that you need to in order to bring your highest good to yourself. But with the Devil in reverse, you might really struggle with this sensation. You might be struggling with self-sabotaging, by continuing to keep yourself in this situation where you feel like you can't be alone. You don't know how to be alone in this situation. You are basically keeping yourself attached to the devil in this situation. The Magician in reverse says that you are actually much more powerful than you give yourself credit for. Being alone, and here in the Empress, she's not together with the Emperor, even though that's a couple. That's known to be a couple in tarot. They are not together in the same card. That's for the lovers to be. She is still the Empress of her territory, and you're being asked here to learn to become the Empress of your own territory. You might not be listening to your intuition here. You might be jumping into situations that end up hurting you. You might be leaping before you look at what you're leaping forward, and you might be kind of hurting yourself with this Ace of Swords in reverse. The traditional Rider-Waite Smith would be having the sword pointing at me, or else at you, the querent. So again, you are hurting yourself in the long run by jumping into situations when your intuition is indicating this is not something that is good for you. The Queen of Cups and the Empress are in reverse here. Definitely getting in touch with your creative side, your intuitive side, your nourishing part of yourself is key to healing yourself after this. It could be a breakup. It could be, if it's not a romantic relationship, this could be a drama situation between friends. This could be a difficult situation. Maybe a best friend kind of breakup. There could be a lot of troubles at work if you've been making friends with people at work. You've got the Strength card here again, this time upright. It might be that you are in contact with people who attack you when you're happy, and yet you're still gravitating towards these people. There's no reason for you to continue to have people in your life who don't celebrate when you are also celebrating. Those people have issues in their life that have nothing to do with you. If they get upset at wonderful things that happen to you, like your Nine of Cups arriving, your deep satisfaction, you might have a situation where you come across a place of deep satisfaction for a long time. You confront your fears and you feel amazing because you did. The people around you might hate you because you confronted your fears and became this wonderful, high-vibing, strong person. It's their loss. It is absolutely their loss in this situation. They are creating headaches for you. It might be best just to leave this situation alone. You might feel like you've lost a lot of skin off of your nose with this situation right here. There is nothing to turn back for here. It is best for you to move on, take action for yourself to become the king, if you will, of the action of what you do in your life. It might be that you have struggled to look to yourself for guidance when it comes to what to do. You might frequently ask other people, ask your romantic partners, your parents, your close family members, your best friends, what you should do in your life. And this is about you finally saying, I can take care of myself. I don't need other people to tell me what I need to do. I can ask for help, but that's me noticing that I have a problem and taking action, taking my autonomous action to getting help for myself, to leaving this situation that keeps me feeling lack, that keeps me in a lack mindset. I see you being able, in the month of March, being given an opportunity to kind of rocket yourself away from this situation where you feel like you can't move. Keep the best for yourself. Keep the best for yourself with that Four of Pentacles energy. Sometimes it is great to save stuff back for yourself, to save the very, very best for yourself, and let other people get their best from spirit, their spirit guides, the universe. Let's take a look at your Sufi wisdom. This is an honest, a very loving deck. So here, we're talking about Geminis needing to calm their minds here. This is going to be about feeling your way forward with that Queen of Cups. We want to get that upright. We want to get the Empress upright. This is about feeling your way forward. You are going to need to tap into that inner strength here with that willpower card. We saw strength appear in your spread twice. And also, this is going to be a place where might need to tap into some psychology here. You might need to come in contact with a therapist. It looks like there is some sense of self-worth. There is a sensation that your self-worth is attached to how other people perceive you. You are being asked to let go of that entirely. It's about how the universe, how your spirit guides, how your ancestors see you, and how you see yourself at the end of the day. Do you love yourself? Do you respect yourself? Do you see yourself as someone valuable, whether or not you produce? I think a lot in Western culture, specifically American culture, our self-worth is often tied to what we produce for the culture around us. And that's a poisonous way of thinking for literally everybody. Most especially for you, Geminis, who picked out this pile. How can you describe your value apart from what you do for anybody or for yourself? How can you love yourself, leaving what you produce completely out of the picture? Those are all the messages that Spirit has for you. Pile 2, Geminis, I hope that your March is amazing. I hope that it's a healthy one for you. Please do reach out to therapy if you feel like you need it this month. Take care. Last and not least, pile 3, I hope that you're having a good end of your February and also beginning of your March. You have labradorite here, which is a stone that absorbs negative dark energy. I don't know why I'm stumbling over my words here. You might have something in this spread that somebody doesn't want you to know. But we're absorbing dark energies here with this labradorite stone. Interesting thing is it doesn't need to be cleansed, which is kind of unique. I think one other stone that doesn't need to be cleansed is selenite. But I want to take a look at your Claves Astrologica cards for this month. You have the waxing gibbous moon, I should say. You also have the intellect here. and you have Leo. So this is about fire signs. If you don't have Leo in your chart, you might have some fire energy in your birth chart that this does touch on. But this month of March, you might be studying something new. I see with that waxing gibbous, some folks might be getting ready for graduation. And this is kind of, you know what, burnout. For some folks, you might be kind of burned out in the month of March. I definitely want you to know that Spirit wants you to keep working through this month, that the reward is connected to the work that you've done. If you're feeling burned out and you're very close to the full moon of something in your life, then definitely keep going, right? Like Winston Churchill said, if you're going through hell, keep going, right? So I want to also take a look at your uncertain oracle cards for this month. You have integration, action, and sweet. So there may be kind of an interesting situation. It might be a small, brief kind of thing that kind of keeps you going to that full moon that you have coming up with this situation. With studying something, definitely you have a kind of energy. You might have a lot of motivation around this. There might be a situation in your life where you say to yourself that you're going to accomplish this because you need it, or someone special in your life really, really needs this thing. Let me make sure I didn't, okay. In the, pile number 2, I actually turned the cards upside down and I had a moment where I was like, oh God, oh crap. Here in this situation, this is going to be possibly about thinking of different ways of doing things. Maybe you have a routine. Is there a possibility that you could combine these routines into a sweet spot for you? With this whole, if you are dealing with burnout, coming up to the end of this full moon situation, to the zenith of a situation, is there a way that you can simplify your life, how you go about your daily existence, that could make life a little bit easier for you, a little bit sweeter, so to speak? Let's take a look at your Celtic cross with Tarot Mucha. And I'm going to be taking from the bottom. I usually take from the top, and you have the Hierophant up top for your central theme. This is about doing things the traditional way. This could be about a marriage, a wedding for you. And if that's the case, congratulations if you're the one who's getting married. And if it's someone in your circle, congrats to them too. But this is about doing things the way that the universe, your spirit guides, your ancestors want you to do in order to get to a certain end, the end of a journey, so to speak. This might be a little bit of a trial. This Hierophant character, this Pope character, is kind of putting these people through a trial. These folks have some things to learn from their Pope, from their leader, before they are to progress as monks, as people of this particular faith. Yeah, you have the King of Wands helping you in this instance. So, King of Wands, I said the King of Wands, you might be taking action this month, and King of Wands energy may not be a problem with you, which is why I said it. But what may be some work for you is to get in touch with your King of Pentacles here. This is about becoming the master of the resources that make your life on this earth more pleasant. That could be about finances, or about food, or about housing, or your job, about business partnerships, about whatever have you that makes your earthly existence easier. So you're learning something this month. You are doing something with Spirit. You're learning from Spirit somehow about becoming the King of Pentacles in your life. Maybe take some of that King of Wands energy and transforming it into saving energy. Ooh, this could be about investing in stuff, like literally investing in stocks and bonds, even though everything's going crazy right now at this moment. On February 27th, 2022, everything's going crazy at this moment. In your past, you have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. You may have struggled with your sense of self-worth. You may have also, excuse me, you may have been less than stewardly. You may have not been very conservative with your resources. You may not have conserved your resources, but I also get this is about self-worth. You didn't feel like you were worthy of whatever this situation is about you studying for this, becoming better for this. Definitely see you working on something that has to do with you possibly reading a lot. Maybe attending lectures, maybe watching a lot of lectures. Maybe you're part of a lot of Zoom seminars. You may be part of seminars. But here I see you working on that, letting go of that sense of, I'm not worth all these wonderful things. You have the Chariot here. So after the Hierophant, after learning from the Hierophant, you will be sent out into the world to do your own thing. That is your future. You started out from a place of, I don't know that I'm worth this, to, I choose to learn more about how I can become the King of Pentacles, the ruler of my resources in my life. And the future, you are going to be sent out from your place of learning to actually practice in the world. Fascinating stuff. You have the High Priestess up here consciously. You are using your intuition to get in touch with spirit. We get in touch with this Hierophant character. This could be literally, the Hierophant could be literally a spirit guide with a name that you are working with. This could be literally an ancestor beyond the veil that you are working with. But I feel like this is an individual. It may be yourself. You may be your own Hierophant. You may be your own bridge to your intuition, to getting in touch with spirit. But I see you getting in touch, going through a trial with High Priestess here. You have major arcana and energy here, which talks to me about this being a major process that's happening here in the month of March. Putting you closer to having the best love life possible. Ace of Pentacles, it's a new opportunity for you. Makes sense. The Hierophant is offering you a whole new route to getting the very most out of the situation that you're studying for. Graduation, I keep coming back around to. Don't be like, it's hard work with the Hierophant. Don't be burned out. See what you can do to simplify your routines, make things easier on you. Yeah, it might be neat for you to reach out to a therapist, to a trusted friend, a family member, and ask, hey, can I simplify something in my life? Because I need to make this easier on me. I need to reach a sweet spot. While we reach my full moon, we're at the waxing gibbous at this point. So you're here to be the kind of Queen of Swords here. That's your advice card. How can you get into this Chariot future? You're going to need to be the queen of thinking and communicating and also listening to your intelligence, balancing all that at the same time. In the Rider-Waite-Smith version, she has her hand out and her sword up. In this case, she is also using the sword to guard herself. You might need to be really careful about the things that you take on, the emotional burdens, the mental burdens that you take on. If you are given the opportunity for something like an internship, another job, another class, something else that would add to your mental load, maybe think twice, run that through your intuition, run that by the Hierophant, by the High Priestess, and they may say no this month of March, okay? So with the Emperor, you are an immature Emperor, I get. You are growing into this person who is an absolute master of everything in their life, that has all their kings in balance. Yeah, we do. We did have the King of Pentacles. So part of becoming the King of Pentacles is learning to become the Emperor, a rule setter for yourself, a rule enforcer for yourself, someone who is willing to fight battles for yourself, for the people that you love. You're willing to defend people who aren't necessarily able to defend yourself. Right now, you're in the position where other upright emperors may be defending you or not. You may have a situation where you're kind of alone, but you have seen those situations where awesome people are the ones who stand up for your situation when you aren't necessarily able to do that for yourself. You may not feel like you have any of the ability to get through this situation. You may not feel like you can finish studying this. You may be about to give up, but the universe wants to remind you that you have everything within yourself. With the Magician card, you have all the tools you need within yourself to get through your situation. You might be afraid of failing. You might be afraid of getting up somewhere on a stage, getting into an environment where you kind of need to show off what you've done to get that graduation, right? You might be afraid of screwing up in front of these people. The universe wants to remind you to decrease your stress levels, to continue on your journey. This is a small obstacle, and you are very powerful, and you're actually much more impressive than you give yourself credit for. You have the Tower in reverse. This is something that needed to come down. And you know, for graduation, it's the end of a tower that got built up and eventually needs to come down because everything's got to end at some point. But with this kind of situation, this is about taking on a mental burden, the possibility that there will be things headed your way that you kind of need to block off in order to have the best possible end, the best possible outcome to your situation. It might feel kind of catastrophic, whatever is going on this month. It's a kind of trial, but it's not a legal trial. It's kind of an educational trial. So it might be a kind of thing where you do need to show off your portfolio to an audience of folks, and you're extremely nervous about this because this could make or break your graduation. You're already burned out. You're already kind of overloaded, I can see. You're working hard. The universe says to keep going. You're almost done, is what the universe says. This is a tower that is a good kind of tower. I'm continuing to look at this and try to tune in. It's the kind of tower that needs to happen in order for you to move on through your journey in the Chariot. So I want to take a look at the Light Seers Tarot. You have the King of Swords here. That's awesome for Geminis. This King of Swords here, you are going to be the master of your thoughts, your emotions, as well as how you communicate with people. You're going to be careful about the things that you say. You're going to keep your own guidance when it comes to what it is you want to do next, especially when it comes to this project that you're growing. And I'm getting art project for some person. For some people, it might be that you are literally getting an art portfolio ready for your advisors to see before you are given the green light for graduation. In that case, continue to keep working. It looks like you are the master of what's going on there. You might be really concerned about what you're going to do after graduation here. After the end of this project, if it's not graduation, you might be really concerned about what you're going to do next. The universe is saying that you are kind of being your own worst enemy here with this Eight of Swords in reverse. You've got your hands around your throat. You're creating your own anxiety. There may be a factor that you're not looking at that could really open up your horizons here, that could make it so that you're not so upset about moving forward. For some reason, I feel like a lot of you folks are crying about moving forward. There's something about it might be leaving your workplace. It could be about leaving your educational environment. You may have developed a network in either of these places that you don't want to leave behind. You're afraid of this new situation. Afraid might be a little bit too much, but you're concerned about this situation enough that it's causing you some degree of anxiety. There's that King of Pentacles again. Be careful that you're doing right by yourself when you move forward. That you are staying completely true to what the Hierophant and what the High Priestess have taught you during this time of learning. You might be tempted to go a little bit fast in some situations. You might be tempted to throw yourself into some new projects after this. You are being asked to be the ultimate steward of everything that makes your earthly life comfortable here, and to think twice before just blazing forward. With that Two of Wands in reverse, it might be kind of difficult for you to plan ahead because you have so many options ahead of you, or you feel like you don't have enough options, that you're kind of struggling to there's a risk that you could jump into a project that ultimately isn't good for you, that could hurt you, that could bring some karmic results, some karmic consequences onto you. Stay the steward of your own resources. That's what you're learning here with, and it could be you're getting a business degree. For some of you folks, you might be getting a business or a finance degree somehow. Remember what you learned. Practice what you've learned, and that Chariot is going to stay upright. It's going to be more difficult for obstacles to keep you stuck. You got the Chariot again, this time in reverse. I was just talking about obstacles. If you get stuck heading along your way after graduation, after this project is done, if you get stuck along your way, it's because the universe has paused you because you aren't loving yourself. Putting yourself first, filling your cup first, giving it to yourself first is key, it looks like, to keeping your Chariot moving forward as fast as possible. And that's also the way that you're able to give love to others here. The universe is going to pull you over if you aren't giving love to yourself, if you aren't putting yourself first, post-graduation, post-project, post-job, what have you. These are Sufi wisdom cards. They're honest, they're loving, and they've got some neat advice. So it looks like you are going to be dealing with some unique situations coming up, possibly with your graduation. It feels like more to do after graduation, right? You've been given all the tools before. You've had some formulaic, traditional things to expect, and with that Knight of Wands energy, after graduation, you might have all kinds of projects that capture your attention that are kind of distracting. That might be what's going on here with the deal with the unexpected. It might be that people try to take advantage of you being newly graduated, newly out of this project. They might see you as being inexperienced, and that might be part of being determined to deal with the unexpected, right? And also there's some degree of just being tough and deciding that you're going to get through this situation come hell or high water. I do see you needing to continue to consult with the Hierophant, with the High Priestess, with your spirit guides, with your ancestors, with the universe, while you navigate your situation through the end, because we do have that waxing gibbous moon, you are coming up onto your full moon. You're not there yet, but listen to advice while you're going through your full moon and your waxing gibbous moon. Listen to advice afterward as well. Make connections, and it could be that you make connections with your former co-workers, your business partners, your professors, your teachers. You need to make friends with those folks because they've got some really good advice that will help you along your way, that will give you a different perspective, that will help you stay determined. It's going to be easy to get burned out, it looks like. Possibly as you continue to study. You might be doing studies after you graduate. You might be heading into a master's or something, a PhD even for some of you folks. You might be heading into that, and listening to people who've been down that road is how you are going to stay successful here. Last and not least, you must love yourself first and foremost. You are to think of yourself, talk to yourself as the beloved. You are the beloved. Think of yourself as the beloved, and your path is going to be so much easier. This card in reverse is just as good because it's pointing to a need for self-love here. When you look at yourself with love, it's going to be much easier to look at all kinds of situations with an abundance of love here. Those are all the messages that Spirit has for you for the month of March. Pile 3, Geminis. I hope that you have a great month. Please take care.